extended rentals, and currently we have 2 cars that have been out on rentals since June and July. But this means that when it comes to ensuring that these cars are getting the proper maintenance, it can be a bit tricky.
So we often get asked, how do we maintain our vehicles whenever they're out consistently for like 1 or 2 or even 3 months at a time? And truthfully, we just coordinate with the guest. We ask them how many miles the vehicle is at, and then we check our maintenance records and see, does this vehicle need an oil change at the rate that this person is driving? And then once they answer and say, hey, we do need to go ahead and maintain that vehicle, we need to do an oil change, we just coordinate with them, and it's easier for us to go to them. That way they don't have to get out of our vehicle or start a whole completely different trip, and they have to go and get another vehicle if we don't have one available. This makes sure that they stay in our vehicle and they can keep on renting with no issues. And we found it. Last thing to do is go ahead and put the new maintenance sticker up in the windshield, and the renter is good to go for another few months without us having to come out here. It's a little dirty in here. Work truck! Today we're going to be looking at a car that, if this all pans out, we're going to be looking at an incredible deal, but I trust it as far as I can physically pick it up and throw it, which is maybe about 6 feet, which is why I'm bringing down my fancy scanner.
You can throw a full-size car 6 feet?
You don't know what I can do.
The car that we're looking at today is a 2013 Mercedes-Benz C250. This car has 116,000 miles and is listed for $7 grand. Our 2009 Mercedes is a consistent top performer in our fleet, so to get another one for a below market value is something we're pretty excited about. The only issue is the car does have some minor issues, including a rip in the seat, some wear and tear buttons, a cracked windshield, and a misfire issue, which we're hoping HP can easily address. What are the chances in your mind that we're going to walk away with this car?
50-50. I mean, if the car's clean, it has a misfire on it, I'm down to take it, but if it's got a bunch of stuff wrong with it and the misfire's on there and some other stuff and the computer, I might just pass. I don't know.
This is an old school that they turned into apartments.
I think my dad used to go there.
No, he did not.
Pretty sure.
So we inspected the outside of the car, which was in great condition. Took it on a test drive.
It's big and lifted, so.
And we inspected the interior. You can see here the buttons are in pretty rough shape. And HP used his scanner to get an idea of what all mechanically needed to be done with the car.
About to see.
And we began to add up all of the totals.
So $350 for the windshield, $80 for the rain sensor. I can program it with this. Spark plugs, all 4 spark plugs. Let's just say worst case scenario it's $100 because they're expensive NGK ones. And then other than that, stickers and stuff like that, probably another $100 too.
The seat.
And the seat fix,
200.
another $200. So you're gonna be like $600?
I think it's worth it.
Yeah. All right, ask me for the title.
And we ended up buying this car for $7,000 even.
Now that it's light outside, let's give you the tour of this 2013 Mercedes-Benz C250. Now, looking on the outside, this thing is actually in really good shape. Not a really big dent on this car. Occasional scratch here and there, and maybe the exception of the windshield, which is completely shattered, but we'll have that replaced and it'll look brand new. Now, coming across, this Mercedes-Benz is one of the lower end models of the C-Class. We call it the cheap class, but honestly, this one lives up to its name, just like our 2009. Leather, heated seats, Bluetooth with the radio and the phone, not like our other one where it's just hands-free calling. And as you can tell, this windshield is destroyed. Now typically we can get away with maybe a rock chip or two, but this crack goes all the way across down to the passenger side, and it looks like they must have hit a rock or something. If you look right here, it just decimated this glass. Now, Mercedes-Benz glasses are typically a little more expensive, but I'm confident we can get this glass for about $300 out the door replaced. Now you gotta remember, this is a 250, not a 300, and the main difference is gonna be this does not have a V6 engine. This actually has an inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but still a C-Class, which means it's the same size as our other Mercedes-Benz, but newer. Which means you get the updated all leather wrap steering wheel and all these nice silver appliques. And as you can tell, this car does have a little bit of wear, not only on the seats, but also on the steering wheel buttons and the radio buttons. This is pretty typical from most Mercedes cars and most European cars. You just can't handle this Texas sun. They start rubbing off on your fingers. But not to worry, because I've actually replaced these buttons and they actually have custom stickers and caps to put over these pre-existing buttons, which makes this interior look way better whenever you have them replaced. So gotta be a pretty easy fix. But other than that, it is a pretty standard Mercedes-Benz. Someone's even blowing me up because they want to ride in it. Hello? This is an important... Yeah, I know. It's a Mercedes-Benz C250. It is luxury. And it's... Sorry.
Who was that?
I don't know, but they just really wanted to ride in this Mercedes. I tell you, a lot of things change when you drive luxury. It's kind of funny because this car technically is 4 years newer than our other Mercedes and does share a lot of the same things, but things like this front radio display, a lot of the gauge clusters, and all this silver accenting really livens up the car, where the Mercedes is actually old faux wood paneling that just kind of looks like it's from the early 2000s. So minor differences can make a huge change, especially on the front bumper of this car, where it also got updated too. In the back seat, just as roomy in a typical C-Class fashion, and it really doesn't even look like it's been sat back here. It looks pretty brand new. Also got sunroof, just like your other Mercedes-Benz stuff. All the nice accoutrements. I don't know what that means, but it's fancy. Now, we did get a stellar deal for this car, and it's mainly due to the fact that this car needs some work. It does have some small things and a check engine light that needs to be addressed before it can be rental ready. Now, we did purchase this vehicle for a whopping total of $7,000. It's a 2013 and it only has 116,000 miles. Now, we expect to only put about $1,000 into this vehicle and get it rental ready. And then after that, we'll still be below $3,000 of the market value of this particular vehicle. And we expect this car to easily bring in $50 to $55 on Turo every day. Now, do you guys think we made a mistake? I mean, our whole business model is going for cheap economy cars, but I'll be damned if our 2009 Mercedes doesn't bring in a lot of money and is their top performer out of all of our Turo cars. Let us know in the comments down below. And guys, as always, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next episode.
No.